Hey, how you going? It's Donna here from Free to Be Pet Therapy. I'm a pet therapist who uses energy healing to help animals move through any pains or traumas. So I just wanted to quickly pop in this video. I have just conducted a energy healing session for a beautiful greyhound named Lass. I'll pop a picture of her up in the corner. She recently lost her, I guess, bonded companion. She had moved in with Brax. How long has, I was just wondering how long Bev has had her for. It hasn't been long. It's only, I don't know if it's just been under a year or 6 months or something like that. Anyway, Brax was an old boy. He was living out his 12th year, and unfortunately, or not unfortunately, because I guess nothing ever dies, but Bev had to put Brax down. His back end all collapsed. It hadn't been too good for a little while, and yeah, so that was sad for Bev. She lost her beautiful boy that she'd had since he was 4. But she had taken on a rescue greyhound, or a rehomed, I should say. It wasn't a rescue, it was a rehome. And yeah, so Lass became Brax's companion, and she had just started to really settle in and really created a strong bond with Brax. And then Brax needed to be put down, and obviously Bev was very upset, and she sort of noticed that Lass was becoming very clingy, and she knew I did energy healing, so she asked if I wouldn't mind doing a session just to help Lass process her grief. So the intention that I decided to use today was to help Lass process her grief and release all physical, mental, emotional and spiritual trauma associated with the loss of Brax. Now, Lass has also had a little bit of issues with being left alone in the house, so I added to that intention just to help her to feel calm and content when she's alone in the home, knowing her human Bev will return. So that was the intention that I used for the session. And to start with, a couple of physical things came up. She needed to be grounded, she needed to be protected to get the session started. Then the very first thing that came up was she needed a tooth balance. Now, I know from visiting Bev that she has told me that Lass does have a tooth issue, because she's always, or not always, but occasionally she rubs her cheek against the pillow or the cushion or whatever she's lying on. And but I didn't know what side of the face it was, or which particular tooth it was. But what came up was that was on her left. My left is this side, so does that mean your left is this side? Anyway, it was on the left side of her face. It was one of her molar teeth, and I've got a number of it, 309, so I'd be curious to know if that's the actual tooth that's the issue. But anyway, that came up first. And then she just needed a muscular system balance and a skeletal system balance, because whenever I do an energy healing session, one of the first parts of the intention is always to ensure that it's stated to help the animal to maintain health and well-being. So that allows for anything else that needs to come up that the animal may be dealing with. So for example, I know that Lass is dealing with a tooth issue at the moment. So anyway, we moved through those things, and then what came up was a heap of emotions. Now, I know a lot of people probably do not believe that our pets feel much emotion, especially with dogs. I know it's regarded, or I know that it's known that dogs will only feel love or fear and react according to either one. But I think this, well, I can't say that I can prove anything, but at the end of the day, something that I believe is that we are all spiritual beings. Humans, animals, spiritual beings, and there's a lot more going on sometimes with our animals than maybe what we see or understand. I know Bev had mentioned that Lass had become clingy since Brax left. Love, fear, maybe out of fear, being alone, I don't know, you could say that. But these are the emotions that came up for Lass during her energy healing session today. So the first one, brokenhearted. Brokenhearted became an issue for her on the 15th of July. Now, I know that I'm pretty sure that was a Tuesday, and I'm pretty sure that was the day that Braxy needed to be put down. So, completely understandable. And then the next emotion was distressed, which also became an issue on the 15th of July. And of course, she's going to be distressed. She's losing her friend. Now, the next issue that came up was she felt bitter. This came up on the 7th of July, so it was the week before, and I sort of asked questions because I use dowsing to find answers, and I got that it was to do with Brax, and it was possibly to do with the fact that she knew that he was leaving her. She knew then. The next thing was resentment. This became an issue on the 14th of July. Same reason. This was, I think, pretty sure the day before Brax needed to be put down. She was feeling some resentment. Why the hell are you leaving me? The next one that came up, and this one actually brought a tear to my eye. It's funny that this one, maybe it was just the compounding effect of all the emotions that came up, but anger came up next. This became an issue on the 16th of July, so this was, I'm pretty sure, the day after Brax needed to transition. And it was to do with the fact that Brax had left her. She felt angry. And that's part of the process of grieving anyway, which brings me on to the next emotion, which was grief. The 17th of July, the day after. So she actually felt anger before she felt grief. Is that normal? I know humans have a thing where when you're grieving someone, you go through certain emotions. Is anger the one before grief? I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, she felt anger first. She felt grief the next day. And then the next emotion that came up for her was depression. This became an issue on the 14th of July, which I'm pretty sure is the day before Brax needed to be put down. Yeah, she knew what was going on. Our animals know. They know more than we know sometimes, I think. And then she just needed some chakras cleared and balanced. Her root chakra, which keeps her grounded, her solar plexus, personal power and will, her heart chakra, of course, because of the brokenheartedness that's actually associated with the heart meridian. So that's always one that tends to come up when an animal loses someone or another being. Brow and crown, all to do with connection. Whiskers chakra came up. That's that's a minor chakra. Whiskers, very much associated with the teeth. So that's probably why that came up. And oversoul, which is her connection to dogs in spirit land, I guess. I think there was a couple more things, wasn't there? Self-preservation, dependence chakra. I think she had come to depend on Brax. He had become her friend. So, and then just Archangel Raphael for some healing that she needed. A 4-day download, which maybe just helps change the way she thinks about whatever's, everything that's happened. And then to finish off the session, she actually needed the Flower of Life, which is all about her receiving energy from above, energy from below, filling her up and expanding out into her energy field to strengthen it. She then, after that, to finish off the session, just needed the triple hologram of love, which was a lot stronger version of the Flower of Life. So, yeah, I just thought I'd quickly create this video. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it out there or not. If I do, hi. No. I just think it's very significant, or it's important to know that our animals do go through a lot. Horses, cats, dogs, when they lose a companion, it does affect them, and they do grieve and they do feel these emotions. And I just thought I'd share that because it's important. And I think if you're an owner of a pet whose pet has lost a companion, I'm sure you notice it in them. So yeah, energy healing can help obviously process that. These emotions, I'm able to release them so they don't get stuck in the energy field. These emotions will affect certain chakras, can cause blockages. These blockages prevent life force, full 100% life force from coming in. It affects certain, the endocrine system, glands, organs get affected. It affects the physical body. So releasing these emotions is really important because it helps our animals, our pets, not to go through some of the physical ailments that may show up because these emotions are stuck in their system. So anyway, I just wanted to share, like I said, I know I'm repeating myself, but just sharing what our pets feel. And yeah, if you do have a pet that has perhaps lost its companion, lost its paddock mate, lost its housemate, lost its person, lost a person that's strongly associated with them, yeah, I think it's a nice thing to do, to be able to provide them with a bit of energy healing, release all of that for them, and help them to live their authentic lives in the best way they possibly can. So anyway, that's all from me. Hope you're having a lovely day, a lovely evening, a lovely night, wherever you are in the world, and I will hopefully, maybe if I've posted this video, see you again.